You already know. Hey, Andy, can you turn up the speaker in here?
Since when have you heard this many brilliant black women hosting their own shows on talk radio? Never, 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 never. Until now.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
We've been shut out, but we persist. And if you're not tuning in, you're missing out.
We about to be lit.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Go tell your mama.
Women have a lot to talk about.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Can you guys hear? Put a fist up if you can hear. Ladies and brothers, we are the stars of the universe in here. Yesterday's show was so good. I said, Zoe, you got to go harder. Yesterday's show with Dr. Mark Goulston was so fire. I said, Zoe, you got to go harder. You got to take it up another notch. You already know this is a caller-driven show. And I know how uncomfortable many of us are having these types of conversations. And yes, I try to infuse a little humor, a little levity, and I understand it's difficult. But these conversations must be had. And listen, I can do these conversations all day, every day, 24 hours a day, because I understand the importance of them. I understand the significance of them. That brother who called in tears the other day or yesterday, Lloyd Hinton from Chicago. That brother called in, man, and he's a testament to why we do it. You want to change? Tune in. You want to stay the same? Go somewhere else. And it's not arrogance. I'm very humbled that the universe said, we're going to use your voice box. And not only humbled, but sometimes frightened. Man, listen, I'm learning at the same time you learning. Oftentimes, a lot of the things I say, I have never said before on each show. It's just an amazing, man. I want to shout out KBLA, Talk 1580, Tavis Smiley, Elston, Dominique DePrima, of course, Dr. Jashana Johnson. I want to shout out all of the voices on this channel. Everybody gave me a shot. They gave me a legitimate shot. They said, let's see what this boy gonna do. Boy, I'm like Bo Jackson in the backfield. Don't hand me the pigskin. I'm going to run so fast. I'm going to injure myself. I'm Bo Jackson, man. I'm Bo Jackson and Barry Sanders and Marshall Faulk all wrapped into one. You give me the ball, I'm dancing. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to juke you. I'm going to do it all. Might as well throw in Eric Dickerson. I'm Eric Dickerson, too. It's a football analogy. I'm sorry. Anyway, tonight's topic, I'm not going to take my foot off the gas. I want us to have a real conversation. You know, like I know, the generations are changing. Belief systems, right? Social game rules, how we interact in relationships. So I saw something online today. I said, there's my topic. Does the acronym BM, I see it all over the place, BM, baby mama. Does the acronym BM, baby mama, and BD, baby daddy, stand for big mistake and bad decision? A deeper look at the trials and tribulations that come with immature parents. When I come forward, we're going to break down some questions. You already know this is an open, safe space for you to call in and speak on it. BM, baby mama, big mistake. BD, baby daddy, bad decision. How many of you had kids with somebody you deem to be a bad decision? How many of you have to deal with that woman over there that you consider a big mistake? The trials and tribulations that come with immature parenting. You chose them. Now you want to act like it didn't happen. I'm trying to tell you, relationships are fine-tuned, just like the universe, just like the Goldilocks space we live in. Fine-tuning, look it up. Theoretical physicists talk about it all the time. How did you get a big mistake and a bad decision? When we come forward on the voice of reason.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams.
Hey, Xylon, twos and fuse.
Everyone, this is Hill Harper, and I have a few questions for you. Are you tired of trying to figure out how to make your money grow and create wealth for you and your family? Are you tired of watching our culture being monetized by everyone but our community? And are you tired of supporting monetary platforms and businesses that have systemically never supported you? If you can answer yes to just two of those three questions, then you should download the Black Wall Street digital wallet today. It's free and in your App Store and Google Play Store. The digital revolution is upon us, and we have a chance to change the financial trajectory of our community forever. If you want to build cross-generational wealth and pass down opportunity to future generations, download the Black Wall Street wallet today and begin learning. They teach math in school, but they don't teach money. So we have to teach ourselves. The Black Wall Street wallet is the first Black-owned digital platform and wallet that allows us to dollar cost average, or DCA, and set it and forget it and build wealth. As we always say, DCA a day keeps poverty away. Download the Black Wall Street wallet today.
People super chat, watch what I post. If you can
Did
catch
you know
that,
running your dishwasher every night with
and put their
Cascade
name in
Platinum
it,
actually
it'll be
saves
gone.
water?
Saving water is smarter with the dishwasher.
It's true. An Energy Star certified dishwasher with Cascade Platinum uses only 4 gallons of water per cycle, while a running sink uses that every 2 minutes. Every load saves water.
Saving water is smarter with the dishwasher.
So do it every night. Run your dishwasher with Cascade Platinum.
I'm gonna try to get everybody a personalized note.
Hey, Dad, how do
When you hit the
apples
super
fly?
chat,
What's in this box?
I'm gonna try to personalize that note to you.
How were babies made? What
Hey,
did
that
this one
playlist
do?
crazy tonight.
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them
Xylon,
about gun safety
did
in
you get
home
your
is
note?
a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home
Where
safer.
the Twos and Fuse crew,
endfamilyfire.org.
hit the like
That's
button, everybody. Let's go, let's go.
Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady and the Ad Council.
Our community leaders support Lola Smallwood
Like it
Cuevas for
up.
State Senate because
It's
she
stuck
used to
on
fight for good
41.
jobs
Like
and
it
equity
up.
for all
Like
of
it
us.
up.
Supervisor
Come
Holly
on.
Mitchell, Senator Sidney Kamlager, the Democratic Party, and the Los Angeles Sentinel all
I be
endorsed
tripping.
Lola for the state Senate. President Obama recognized Lola
Xylon.
for her work as the co-founder of the LA Black Worker Center, increasing access to quality jobs and fighting employment discrimination. Vote Lola Smallwood Cuevas for state Senate on June 7th.
Paid for by Lola Smallwood Cuevas for Senate.
You took the first step and quit smoking.
11:30.
Even former
30
smokers may
seconds.
still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life.
You ready?
Took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Only knew her for a little while, but he had grown accustomed to her style. She had the cutest sass he ever seen. He did too, they were meant to be. They loved to kiss on the steps of his side.
Sisters and brothers.
Birds do fly. I love you, baby.
This song is called Boys and Girls.
We can stay in touch.
Are we just children having children,
Space and joy.
irrespective of our chronological age? You got a lot of immature people, spiritual zygotes, having babies because they are considered an anatomically correct or accurate male or female. The reality of it is, children will highlight, because you hear me talk about this all the time, relationships being a mirror. Children will reflect everything you've neglected internally. They'll reflect it back to you. You guys understand the do as I say, not as I do philosophy? Smoking is bad for you. Listen, it's too late for me, but you, again, children model. They model the crib. That's how I say it. You know, a clinician might be a little bit more technical. They model their environment. Children model their environment. They model the crib. And whatever is in the crib that has been normalized, whether it's violence, whether it's toxicity, children will model that and then carry that into their adult relationships. This is why I say relationships are holographic. Holos, whole, grapha, gramma, whole writing. Your whole story goes with you into your intimate relationships, whether resolved or unresolved. True or false? High-functioning, emotionally mature parents rarely parent their child/children from a space of ego. Some people can agree or disagree. Call me right now, 1-800-920-1580. Why are some parents immature? And shouldn't you have waited to grow up a little bit before you had a kid? 1-800-920-1580. What did your children teach you about your own toxicity? Have your kids rebuffed you because of your toxicity? We want to talk about it. Does the acronym BM, baby mama, and BD, baby daddy, stand for big mistake and bad decision? A deeper look at the trials and tribulations of immature parents. What is the process of unlearning a toxic slash abusive parent's love? True or false? High functioning, emotionally mature parents usually take responsibility for their mistakes and avoid blaming others. How many of you got a blaming mama or a blaming daddy? Well, what had happened was, son, I was on my way to the game. Okay, now I know that was your first game, but what had happened was, the hat was selling. They had a deal on pastrami sandwiches, and so I stopped. First off, I know you love the pastrami sandwich, so I stopped to pick up one for you. But because of the deal, it was 39-cent pastrami sandwich. Because of the deal, the line was wrapped around. Okay. How many of you have a parent that constantly makes excuses and never takes ownership of their distance, of their condescension, of their narcissism, of their gaslighting? This next question is going to really hurt. How can a hidden victimhood script negatively impact one's ability to effectively parent their child slash children? You got a victimhood script, and it prevents you. See, let me just say, the father of 3 children, I have a philosophy. When they're babies, you're a dictator. You dictate every aspect of their lives when they're babies, right? You are an authoritarian. When they begin to develop self-awareness, right? I'm talking about the teen time. And they're starting to transition and feel them. Boy, you starting to smell yourself a little bit, huh? You know how your uncle used to say that? Hey, you puffing up, boy? What you puffing up for? What needs to happen is not more force, right? But more mentorship. Look at these kids that are running around shooting people, killing kids in Uvalde, Texas. Clearly lost. No home compass, right? No ethical home compass, right? How is it that the internet got more influence than you do over your kids? How is it that a doctrine that you didn't write, Buffalo? How is it that a doctrine you didn't write has more influence over your kids? Is the internet, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, IG, all that? Is that your unpaid babysitter? Is that your unpaid nanny? Goodness gracious. True or false? Maturity and emotional intelligence involve self-awareness, empathy, and emotional regulation, as well as conscious communication, collaboration, creative problem solving, and effective conflict resolution. Let me just say, that last question for most people is false, because most people haven't developed those things. You understand? Most people have not developed those skills. And it's very difficult for you to parent in front of a mini you, and you struggling to have a grasp on what you're all about, the truth of who you are, right? So what happens is, I always tell people, man, and I didn't know this when I was younger. When I was younger, I was a complete fool. I was a professional fool. I was so much of a fool, I was an expert at foolishness. I was self-unaware. It's all of those things, man. Some would even say I was self-effacing. But what you fail to realize is when you have a child, when you're quote unquote not ready, do you know what you do? You inadvertently mold the clay that the child was born as. They see you fight, they think fighting is the way to go. They see you argue, they think arguing solves problems. Right? Listen, emotional maturity is a critical component of cultivating healthy relationships. It is. But why don't we teach this? I'm not the most emotionally mature guy in the world. What's your bane? Right? What's the thing that sets you off? For me, it's perceived disrespect. If I feel like you disrespecting, and I'm Gemini too, so the other twin be in my ear, like, do you want me to handle this? It's not a good way to live your life. You don't manage conflict very well. So over the years, for many years, over 20 years, I've been in a battle with myself. Sometimes I win a couple of wars. Sometimes I lose a couple of wars. But that is the process of life. So let me give you some examples here. All right? An example of bad parenting. Over and under involvement. When you're over involved, you're a helicopter. Say, coach, when is my boy getting in? Right? You don't allow the process of their journey to kind of develop. Then you have under involvement, where the kid is left wanting and feeling as if maybe you don't really care. Sometimes parents can be neglectful. Here's bad parenting. Little or no discipline. Discipline, see, oftentimes we've taken discipline to mean aggression. I pay the bills. I put the food in your belly. I put the shoes on your feet. Right? We have that, right? That's an old school way of parenting. Here's another old school way of parenting. Would you call this bad parenting? The use of shame. Now, me and Jeff Brown differ. Jeff Brown said we need to bring shame back, right? But I believe shame is a low vibrational level of consciousness. And shame creates traumatic wounds, right? Now, I remember, old school parents, don't you have any shame? I would say a better approach would be, don't you have any pride? Now, you heard what the Bible said. Pride goeth before the fall. But pride can also be contextualized as esteem. And if you have a balance of it, then that's a good thing. When pride goes into narcissism, when pride goes into megalomania, grandiose thinking, I'm the greatest in the world and everybody else is peons, then that's when pride goes awry. But whatever you showing that kid, right? You remember that old saying? My aunt used to say this a lot. I used to listen and eavesdrop on them. I could see them in church. Remember in church and somebody walked by and they got on a nice little dress or whatnot. And then the sister would say, excuse me, man, your slip is showing. Any undone work in front of that kid, any demonstration of the undone work in front of your child, your slip is showing. We see you. And especially your kid. See, let me tell you something about children. They bank your flaws. You're like, oh, I saw it. There's a weakness. I'll leverage this for later. When I need to do something or when I need to get something. Kids, listen, kids have no problem whatsoever throwing it back in your face. But you said, huh? So lack or little discipline, bad parenting. The flip side of that is strict or uber rigid discipline. You're going to get up at 6 in the morning. You understand? We're going to pray for 32 minutes. We're going to eat cream of wheat, no lumps. And then we're going to go to the park. We're going to put up 387 shots. Right? You get what I'm saying? And you better not miss. That strict discipline, I got cousins who had the strictest discipline in the world. And what did I do? I would go over there and eat my aunt's great food. And if I didn't eat it all, I knew they were looking to whoop me. Not talk to me. They were looking to discipline me. Because I didn't eat the big green snot-looking Brussels sprout. Everything else was delicious, but that Brussels sprout. You gonna waste this food? I work hard, and I put it. So I found incredible ways to escape. To the point that he can't come over because he won't eat all the food. But the food was delicious. But strict or rigid discipline, not good if you're a parent. The kid is going to resent you later. How about having or withholding affection and attention as a punishment reward cycle? Did your mama do that to you? The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. We're talking about bad decisions and big mistakes. It ain't just because he lazy. You knew he was lazy when you laid down with him. We not talking about she got a gang of boyfriends or a bunch of satellites and she cheated on the last. We not talking about none of that. You knew this. We talking about how it manifests through the filter of parenting. When I come forward, 1-800-920-1580. Call me.
Is on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Kevin Brown. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Police confirm multiple people are dead after a shooting at a hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma. NBC KJRH reports the shooter took his own life after opening fire on the campus of St. Francis Hospital. Police have reported there are also multiple injuries. The identity of the shooter not confirmed, but he had one rifle and one handgun. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is ordering random audits of all public schools. Abbott wants the Texas School Safety Center to work with the Texas Education Agency to conduct safety reviews. He also said last week's shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde shows more needs to be done. David Porter isn't thrilled that Donald Trump used his song at the NRA convention last weekend in Texas. The former president used the Sam and Dave song, Hold On, I'm Coming. Songwriter David Porter tweeted he did not and would not approve of Trump using the song for any reason. That's the latest. I'm Kevin Brown from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Jack in the Box serves breakfast all day, so you can munch on mini pancakes.
I'm trying to send out.
And freshly cracked eggs.
I'm trying to catch everybody. I'm trying to send out personal messages. We got a lot of people in here tonight.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
Show your love.
I'm speaking, okay? Okay.
Show your appreciation for the channel. Show your appreciation for the channel, y'all. Hit the like button. More people in here than likes. Let's change that. call me.
She's
Y'all gonna call?
and she's Kiara, and this is Donna Michi versus everybody.
I'm Nicole Franklin. Welcome to Before You Go.
I'm Alina Abdullah, and you're listening to Black Lives Matters. This is not
You
a
ready?
show.
Welcome back to Arriva Martin Out Loud.
This is Legal Lens with Angela Red Upright.
I'm Cynthia Brooks, and you're listening to Urban Wellness Now. It's the backstory.
What up, BDS Colossal?
The Sweet Spot with Angelique Prince. I'm Tasha. Welcome
Talk to me about
to
your experience with your family.
Angelique, welcome to Cafe Mocha.
Since when have you heard this many brilliant
What up,
black women
Latoya?
hosting their own shows on talk radio? Never. Until now.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
We've been shut out, but we persist. And if you're not tuning in, you're missing out. KBLA Talk 1580. Black women have a lot.
Yeah.
You've inherited property and cash after the death of a relative, but you also inherited the debts, bills, and taxes too. During this time of grief, you need someone to turn to for legal guidance. That someone is Albert Boudreau. Al Boudreau has been an inheritance attorney for over 30 years, working to keep generational wealth within the community. Call Boudreau at 323-939-5262. That's 323-939-5262. Even without a will, there's a way.
If you live in LA County, you could be eligible for free internet. Call 866-298-1825 to see if you qualify for free home internet. Call 866-298-1825. Brought to you by LA County's Delete the Divide initiative. 866-298-1825.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you when we fight, we win. The Mexican American Legal Defense and Educational Fund, or MALDEF, is the nation's leading Latino legal civil rights organization. Their commitment is to protect and defend the rights of all
Twos and
Latinos
Fuse
in the
Crews.
U.S. and the constitutional rights of all Americans.
Y'all showing up.
MALDEF opened its doors in 1968.
We almost got 100
Texas,
likes.
Inspired by the civil rights era legal battles of the African American community and fueled by the pervasive discrimination against Latinos. MALDEF was consciously modeled on the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund. MALDEF's litigation and advocacy efforts have led to new laws and policies with wide-ranging impact for the Latino community and the nation as a whole. To volunteer, make a donation, or seek assistance, visit maldef.org. That's MALDEF.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 15.
3 away from 100 likes.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always asking,
Where next?
you earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Wake up and text. Text.
Live at 30.
Text and meet
30
up with a friend you
seconds.
haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel,
100
give it to
likes.
a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Every time. Hey, brothers and sisters, can you imagine raising kids while this message is resonating to you? What was the greatest lesson you learned from your child that helped you mature? As not just a parent, not just as a man, not just as a woman, not just as mom and dad. What was the greatest lesson your child taught you? Right? Sometimes these lessons reveal things to you about yourself that maybe you have been running from. Often, you hear me say this a lot. Your significant other is the question to an answer that is within you. And sometimes when these questions arrive in our lives, we can look at somebody and go, I'm not ready to answer that question. Whatever that question may be, spiritual, financial, psychological, whatever. Nope. Nope. I'll wait. But when you have kids, you can't shelve the question that they present. Right? It's very tough, man. It's very tough being immature while trying to raise children. That's tonight's topic. Does the acronym baby mama and or BM, baby mama, and BD, baby daddy, stand for big mistake and bad decision? A deeper look at the trials and tribulations that come with immature parents. Now, like I said, Jeff Brown says shame should come back. But I know shame has destroyed a lot of kids. You can't even have a healthy relationship with your parent today because of shame. Now, people talk about trauma in the body. The body remembers trauma 100%. Listen, if a dog bit you when you was 8, now at 38, whenever you see dogs, you be like, get that dog. You know what your body does? Your body reenacts that moment if you haven't worked through that trauma. Your body will take you back to the moment you first got bit. Your body will tense up, you will sweat. This is what happens, right? This is crazy. So, that's the physical trauma. Don't you know emotional trauma does the same thing? Uh-oh. Oh, Lord. Have you ever noticed how you act when you get around a significant other who treated you, I'm talking about in a bad way or in a negative way, like your parent did? Have you watched how your body, how your senses, how you get hyper vigilant? Like, this reminds me of something I went through before. Listen, somebody in the chat room said you got to allow children to talk. But how much? How much can they talk? And where's the tone and the delivery? Where's that at? The tone and delivery got to always be cool. Now, let me give you some examples. My son, New, goes to Auburn. He goes to Auburn, and it looks like he's going to be the starting two guard after his first game. His first game against Brevard College, some D2 college somewhere. New comes off the bench, drops 4 threes, has 16 points, 5 rebounds, dunking. He looked good. And the writers, the local writers are like, uh-oh, looks like Bruce Pearl has found his two guard. Out of Inglewood, California, New Will. We all excited. So They're getting ready for bigger and tougher opponents. I'm not going to say the kid's name, but his brother is in the NBA right now. And his dad is an agent. And this is a kid that played with Pearl before. And he's a 5th-year senior. He's 24 years old. My son is 18. Right? So everybody thinks the 24-year-old collegiate journeyman is not a good player. Right? So the team has already now started to clown this dude. But Pearl wants this guy to be the leader of the team. Right? Dude was soft as doctor's cotton. I'm sorry, I had to say it. He's soft as doctor's cotton. Okay. I had to say it. Anyway, everybody, the team is clowning this kid. Riding him bad. My son starts laughing. He takes offense to my son because he figures this is the freshman. I can pick on the freshman. So what he does is he tries to grab my son and push him in his locker. So my son did what he did. He put the 2, 3, 4 combo on him. Boop, 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 to the chin piece. Wobbled this 6'10" dude. The dude falls on my son's surgically repaired left knee and sprained his knee. Needless to say, that injury, although it only took him 2 or 3 weeks to come back from it, that injury basically lost him his starting spot. The coach was mad at him because he was like, you should have let the senior talk to you crazy. Who was the first person he called? I was on the radio. He called. I said, I got to call. Hey, I'm on the radio. I got to call you back. I call him back. He go, Dad, I had to put hands on whoop-de-whoop. I said, okay, was it justified? Like, you can't be in Georgia, in Alabama fight. Was he black? Was he white? Like, I need to know just in case I got to come down there. He said, Dad, I had to do what I had to do. He was trying to punk me, and I'm from Inglewood. You know, he started talking crazy. I'm from Inglewood. I got whoop, whoop. I said, hey, okay, take it easy. And what he explained to me was, he said, man, that dude didn't respect me, and I wasn't going to let that fly. And I wasn't going to be singled out because I'm the last guy to be singled out because I will fight. I said, I know you'll fight. But what my son taught me in that moment was he trusted me enough to listen to him vent. As the season goes on, as his frustrations goes on from being injured, not playing, he started to raise his temperature when he was talking to me. Started getting louder and louder and louder. And then, hey, I'm your daddy. So I get, hey, boy, who you talking to? Boy, I'll slap a muzzle. And what he explained to me in that moment was this. When we come forward, I will share the rest of it with you on the VOR.
Is it good to you? More voice of reason with Zoe.
Hit us with the cliffhanger.
Aw, made you look. Our Weekly Los Angeles is the largest audited black newspaper in the state of California with a distribution of over 50,000 copies weekly. Pick up a copy every Thursday to get the latest news on African-American communities of LA. You can also keep up with what's going on in Los Angeles and surrounding cities by going to www.ourweekly.com. The Our Weekly website is updated daily with the current news about
where y'all at? Y'all gonna call or no?
Our Weekly offers economical advertising packages to fit your budget.
You gonna call in or no?
Los Angeles at 323-905-1300 or visit the website at www.ourweekly.com.
We need the callers.
Our Weekly Los Angeles, reporting news that matters to you.
We need some callers.
When
did all the money made in cryptocurrency
No
become
callers.
such a burden?
Not one.
Let's face it, for some who are overnight fortunate,
Let's
shiny
go.
cars and fancy homes are just a temporary fix. With so many people in the world in
Y'all
need,
like that
now
cliffhanger?
there's a place to
Put some fists up if you like that
wealth and keep
cliffhanger.
a family's lights on. Pay it forward, and where there's blight, plant trees. Party with a purpose and save lives. 3Quality is an easy
What up, Kim
solution
G?
to charitable giving and connects us all. At 3Quality.net, those who have the means transfer tokens to a charitable
Oh, I take it
wallet.
they
Those
didn't
at
like
their
that.
lowest point now have a fund financed by crypto in which to turn.
You guys have done an amazing job
Crypto
on the
means
likes.
charity
I
at 3Quality.
appreciate your effort
Visit
and your
3, that's the
consistency.
number 3,
Thank you guys
quality.net,
for
where
responding.
every human
You
is
responded to
equal.
the likes. You responded to the fists. Now please respond.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is working to build a youth, family, and incarcerated people's movement.
Please respond to the
challenge
super
mass
chat.
incarceration along with
Currently,
race,
we have
gender, and class
$32.
discrimination in the juvenile and criminal injustice systems on the county, state, and national level. They take on the massive lockup of people of color, widespread law enforcement violence, and corruption
Live in
and
1 minute.
consistent violation of young people.
Hey, y'all shout out the engineer,
The Youth
Andy.
Justice Coalition uses campaigns like
Andy be doing his
High School,
motherfucker.
Know
Yeah,
Your
Zoe
Rights,
touches shit.
Legal
Exactly.
Defense, and police and court monitoring to promote safety.
Hey,
without
Andy be
relying
doing
on
his
law
motherfucking
enforcement
getting his
lockups.
thing, man.
They focus on preventing system contact and pulling
He's a
people
great
out of the
engineer.
system. YJC uses
Young
direct
brother.
action, political education, and activist arts to
They
expose
shouting you out,
the
Andy.
people in charge in order to bring about
They shouting
change.
you out.
They advocate transformative justice and positive intervention behavior as alternatives to school suspension, expulsion, and arrest. To get involved, visit youthjusticela.org or call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243.
There you go, Zyla.
This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
More of the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
Soundtrack was underrated.
Woo! Produced by Terry Lewis, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Yikes. Money came by love. Some parents use their wallet to parent. Yeesh. Oh man, this is a heavy topic, man. Bad mistake, bad decision, baby mama, baby daddy. A lot of women say, I don't want to be a baby mama. A lot of men, I don't really hear men saying, I don't want to be a baby daddy. That could be a problem. Is it a problem? Call me, 1-800-920-1580. Back to my cliffhanger. So what I learned from my son during his altercation at Auburn University was he explained to me, because he started raising his temperature. So I raised my temperature. I'm gonna match you. And then I'm gonna raise you. I'm gonna match you and then I'm gonna raise you too. Because I'm dad. And so he showed that my approach was wrong. And I'll show you how. Because what he said to me was, he said, Dad, you don't understand the level of pressure I'm under. I can't talk to anybody. College basketball at this level is so political. He said, man, you can't be real with the coaches because they feel like friends, but they not. I see them give up on kids. I see them act like the kid they was just friends with don't exist anymore. So he was like, Dad, you might think I'm coming at you crazy, but I'm not. I'm just venting. And you are the only person I can vent to without judgment. I said, at 18, what? Man, call and cuss all you want, brother. Now, you can't do this with your mama. Your mama's like a referee. You can never win an argument with your mama. You understand? You can never win an argument with your mama. But with me, come on in, cuss me out. I understand now. He showed me that the way I was parenting him was out of date. I'm not an authoritarian anymore. Now I got to shift into the listening mentor. That's what he taught me, man. Listen, I want to hear from y'all. The number to dial. Y'all scared to call in. I was talking to somebody the other day, or somebody outside the studio today. It was like, I be wanting to call, but you be going deep. Listen, we ain't gonna judge you. Just call me, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, more from the bad mistakes and bad daddy and all of that. More from the baby mama, baby daddy show.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
All I need is one mic.
Oh, this hour
Follow
just...
the money. The famous phrase from the film All the Presidents...
You know what it is?
...to the Watergate...
You ain't been showing the number on the thing, that's why.
Where is it?
As a broadcaster,
it's not there?
writer, and activist.
I've been looking for it.
Follow the money. Who paid? How much did they pay? And what do they think they're buying?
Thing, there you go.
That maxim is particularly relevant when it comes to politics and our current election.
For those of y'all listening on YouTube, y'all better call in right now.
Yeah. Andy, tell them to call in, man.
Call in 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Let's get it, man. This is Zoe Williams over here. The voice of reason is on fire.
Andy could do fucking radio.
Money in support of billionaire real estate developer
Call in, y'all.
Self-described LAPD savior Rick Caruso in his bid for mayor. The LAPD Association has bought and paid for $4 million worth of unchecked lies, slander, and insinuation towards a thoroughly vetted, well-respected African-American congresswoman as she strives to become Los Angeles' first black woman mayor. Seething with hateful and long-debunked allegations, the anti-blackness of these attacks is offensive and unmistakable. Oh, Dominique, that's just politics, you say. But there's more to it than that. Follow the money. Police associations, or unions as they like to call themselves, are advocacy organizations.
We at $41. Come on, y'all. Can we get to at least 100?
Pay and working conditions.
So when they take their $30, we'll have 70 for this show? Come on, y'all. Let's move. As a collective.
Around victims of police violence and obstructing sincere efforts at police reform and reimagination. Their outsized power is often wielded to perpetuate policies and practices that enforce systemic bias and discrimination. That's why I call them cartels. I don't know about your union, but mine won't cover up crimes for me. So why are these organizations, whatever you call them, allowed to endorse candidates? Why are they permitted to put millions of dollars into political advertising?
I appreciate you, Xylon.
Hard-earned dues paid to them by officers be used.
Xylon, you own it again. Thank you, brother. We got one more line open. We need one more caller.
Or maybe those dollars should be donated to the LAPD's.
Oh shit, they all hung up.
Since they're constantly.
One person called. They just wanted to know what the title of the song was. That's all.
But no.
They want to know what the record is. They calling for the playlist.
You don't know how many times people call about the music. That's it.
And Los Angeles law enforcement is the biggest spender.
Hey, you know your playlist is on fire, right? That's your co-host.
The playlist is my co-host.
Live in a minute.
Law enforcement is meant to protect and serve.
They calling for the playlist.
Republicans and Democrats.
What's that record?
Every zip code and ethnicity. How can we
I'm gonna
trust
play
them
that
to
shit
do
when I
so
get in my
they
car,
take
though.
sides in
I ain't gonna
elections,
lie.
and the side they choose invariably is the same side that is complicit in brutalizing and killing Black and BIPOC people.
That playlist
Police
dumb as hell.
associations should not be allowed to endorse or donate to political candidates or initiatives. It is a built-in conflict of interest that is not only unethical, it undermines the trust law enforcement claims they would like to build with communities of color. Who paid? The LA Police Association. How much?
You
$4
ready?
million and counting. What do they think they're buying? The office of the mayor. Follow
Here we
the
go.
money. I'm Dominique DePrima. We welcome your comments at KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. So, what do you want to do? I'm here, baby. I'm ready, baby.
Yeah. There's something wrong with me.
Man, the richness in his voice.
Some of them damn good. Telling me this, telling me that. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason, live on KBLA Talk 1580. Practice what you preach. You can't tell these kids one thing and then try to flip it into something else, right? You doing one thing and telling them to do something else. I'm telling you, these kids gonna call you out. You got to practice what you preach, because what happens is they kind of lose respect for you. Like when you don't do what you're supposed to do, those children will lose respect for you. They'll be like, that's my mama, I love her. That's my daddy, I love him. But I can't depend on him. I can't rely on him, because he's going to tell me to do something that he hasn't been able to conquer. Lord have mercy. Practice what you preach. When we come forward, the voice of reason, I do have phone callers now. We're going to talk to them when we come forward. The VOR is live.
You say what's wrong with you, I know there's a lesson you wanna teach. Here I am, baby.
Practice what you preach.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Yeah. Barry White,
Here's the
man.
latest from the Black Information Network.
Oh,
Police
man.
confirm multiple people are
We
dead
hanging
after
in
a
there,
shooting
bro.
at a
How you?
hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
You good?
NBC
You look tired.
KJRH reports the shooter took his own life after opening fire on the
that's what
campus of
happened
St.
when you
Francis
work. You
Hospital.
did tell me you was
Police
gonna
have
get back
reported
in
there were
there.
also multiple injuries. The
I ain't
identity
mad
of the
at
shooter not confirmed. He had one rifle and one handgun.
How about that?
Texas Governor Greg Abbott is ordering random audits of all public schools. Abbott wants the Texas School Safety Center to work with the Texas
whip is
Education
back. Don't
Agency
tell
to
nobody,
conduct
though.
safety reviews. He also said last week's shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde shows more
Yes.
needs to be done.
And she's
David
about to
Porter
read.
isn't thrilled that Donald Trump used
We're gonna
his
give her a
song at
shot
the
to read.
NRA
She's been
convention
practicing.
last weekend in Texas. The former president used the Sam and Dave song "Hold On, I'm Coming."
Look at
Song
Chapman.
that
Wait.
David Porter tweeted he did not and would not approve of Trump using the song.
Chapman said,
for
hey,
politics.
wait,
That's
hold
the
on.
latest. I'm
Oh,
Kevin
wait.
Brown from the Black Information Network and
Hold on.
BIMnews.com.
She gonna read.
For just $10, spam Please become a Metrolink. Grab your family and find the best taco shops. Have fun at your favorite Metrolink stops from Ventura to Oceanside and everywhere in between. Weekend
That
fares
shit
just
funny.
$10.
Damn, it
Kids
looks
under
like.
17 with paid adult are free. Details at Metrolink train.
Can you handle it?
If you're not listening to Tavis,
Trying to give you a shot.
on KBLA Talk 15.
Don't blow this shot.
Everybody wants to talk to Tavis.
Oh, you putting
By the way, why I'm
you
so
putting on
thrilled about
chapstick?
this conversation with you today. The three people I always most hoped would interview me were Phil Donahue, Studs Terkel, and Tavis Smiley. Donahue's retired, Terkel's deceased, so this is a real thrill for me. And the reason why I have such respect for what you do is you have a
Where are the ladies in the room? Hey, where are the ladies?
depth and detail.
Can we get the ladies to call in?
Smiley, weekday mornings, 9 a.m. to 12 noon, on your unapologetically progressive radio station, KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Zoe Williams, for the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call.
You want me to
Has
read
your
it?
soulmate become your
said, "Do you want me to
cellmate?
read
Does
it?"
black love still exist? What are your bedroom turn-offs?
I'm gonna give you a shot.
And fetishes. Financial infidelity. When dating a fat person, are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have
Who is
so many
that?
questions I want to
What's
ask.
happening? Who's mad? Some Khadijah. Who is that message to?
Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with the
Khadijah
bad
Newman.
How does he maintain
You'll need
his
to get your life
verbosity?
together and find yourself a date.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses. Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
I can't wait to get to school each day.
There's gonna be some babies made on your shoulder tonight, brother Zoe. Warriors and six.
Family and friends. Your brother Zoe Williams. How do you guys like my co-host? See, my playlist is my co-host. Boy, Pasadena in the house. Troop from Pasadena. All I do is think of you remake of the Jacksons record. See, when we playing this baby making music, see, we're going to have all the kids in the world. We're going to be in love in the moment. But why is it that the moment get past us before we realize that this is either a big mistake or a bad decision? How is it that we choose the wrong people? I contend that you can't choose the wrong person. Everybody you consider the wrong person is actually the right lesson. See, you heard me talk about this before. There is no Mr. Wrong or Mrs. Wrong or Mr. Right or Miss. Everybody Mr. Right and Mr. Wrong or Mrs. Wrong. You know what it is? It's Mr. and Mrs. Right now. See, but when you bring children in, before you've contended, before you fought against your inner darkness, when you bring children in, before you have actually taken up the mantle, pulled out the Excalibur, and went into the dark cave, like in Star Wars, when Luke was being trained by Yoda. So what's in that cave? Only what you take with you. What's in this relationship? Only what you take with you. You're going to walk into that relationship with everything you need to discover the truth of who you are. Why you got to have a baby before you've gone into your own personal cave? See, Lucas was very smart when he constructed the Star Wars universe. He consulted Joseph Campbell, who was one of the preeminent teachers. He was a professor out of Sierra, what is it? What's the school in New York? The girls' school in New York? Lawrence. The name just it skips me right now. Somebody knows it. It's a all girls school in New York. Lawrence. I'm gonna get the name right, but he was a professor there, and he taught Sarah Lawrence. Boom. That's the school. Thank you. My people right here. They right here with me. Sarah Lawrence. He was a professor there. And he taught about culture, anthropology. And it was George Lucas who consulted Joseph Campbell, who is the author of the book Hero of a Thousand Faces. So Joseph Campbell understood the metaphor of the cave. Every person has a cave. It's an internal cave. If you don't go into your own cave before you have babies, guess what? As you trying to discover the front door of the cave, guess what? Your kid is modeling their own cave. Ugh. Oh, man, this is ugly. Let's get Dana from the Valley on the line. Dana.
Yes.
How are you, Dana? Welcome to the show. Talk to me about...
Hello.
Are you enjoying what we're talking about right now?
I am. I'm enjoying this show, but I really enjoyed yesterday's show.
It was a fire show.
But
yes.
To no avail.
No worries, but we're happy to have you. Talk to me about your experiences with your parents and what you needed to overcome, and were they immature emotionally or spiritually, or what areas did they need to work on?
I think they needed to work on all areas.
All of the areas?
I think they needed to work on all of the areas. I'll give you a little history.
Go to break once this is done, though.
I was talking about last night because you were talking about fathers, and I recently became my father's sole caregiver. So all of my angst, all of my worries, all of my behaviors and personality traits have come out. Caregiving someone that never cared for me. So I'm giving him everything that I never got from him. I never received a home or a shelter, or person. So I've given all. So I'm having to heal from all of those parts of myself that I believe was unhealed, and looking for something that was never there to begin with.
But Dana,
I thought I was missing something, and I really wasn't.
But Dana, don't you see the magic and the beauty in this? I was going to say before you even went into that, it's lesson time. Full circle. Full circle. That's beautiful, because look, the fact that you were able to give him something that he wasn't able to give you, that meant you went out into the world, got it, was transformed, and was able to go back to the source and give it what it didn't give you.
Exactly, without harm or malice or grudge. It's like openly, here, I can do this for you. I can, be the person you were never. For me, I thought I was missing something. I thought in my relationships I was looking for something that I was never given, but I had it.
Look at that. That's so dope.
I was healed through all of those processes, and even when, through his dementia, he attacks me, I can still be loving and say, it's okay.
Look at that.
We can do this over.
Oof. Man, you don't understand how much you made my day just hearing that story. Because I was just talking about, I didn't even know you were going to come in and hit us with that. I was just talking about Joseph Campbell. And Joseph Campbell's piece on the hero's journey is exactly that. The ordinary world is where you start. You go out into the world, you go through all of these trials and tribulations, you discover yourself, you die to what you used to be, you're resurrected, then you go back to the ordinary world. The ordinary world represents home. You're able to go back to your father and give him something that he wasn't able to give you. That is a clear sign that you have grown and you have been transformed. What a blessing. That's beautiful.
It really is. I was having my Dorothy moment where in The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy thought she wasn't home, but realized that she was always home. So I really thought I was looking for something in other people to heal myself through the trials of what my father did not give me. And I found that I was always there. I always had it.
Man. Dana, I love you. You know that. I love you, Dana. Come on, Dana. I appreciate you for finding me again. Dana's back. We appreciate it.
I'm always going to find you somewhere in our lives and in the lives that we used to have. We were connected in some way. So I think over the years, how long has it been? About 40? We're always going to find each other because we're connected in that way in the past life and will be in the next.
That's real, Dana. That's real. I appreciate you, Dana. Thanks for calling in.
All right.
Now, you know what's crazy? I got to come forward, but I'm going to tell you a little story about me and Dana. When we return, when we come forward.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you live in LA County, you could be eligible for free internet. Call 866-298-1825 to see if you qualify for free home internet. Call 866-298-1825. Brought to you by LA County.
All right, can we get $7?
866-298-1825.
We have $43. Can we get somebody give us $7? Can we get $7?
Connecting you with services and solutions. The Koreatown Youth and
Can one of y'all, can 7 of y'all give $1?
In 1975 to support at-risk youth. Today, KYCC is the leading multi-service organization in Koreatown, supporting children and their families in the areas of education, health, housing, and finances. KYCC is committed to making Koreatown a safe and beautiful place to live and work. The mission of KYCC is to serve the needs of the Korean Americans in Greater Los Angeles as well as the multi-ethnic Koreatown community. KYCC's programs and services are directed towards recently immigrated, economically disadvantaged youth and families and promote community
y'all, Arabia is about to read.
Volunteer or to get help, 213-365-7400. That's 213-365-7400 or visit kyccla.org. This is a community.
Hey, Truemonger. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Hey, Andy.
My little sis is buying a car. You'll need
Andy.
my secret guide.
Gross.
Turn on her mic. She gonna do the read.
One Auto Navigator.
I bet your credit score
Wasn't impacted at all. So ha. I got my real rate and monthly
Vanetta.
amazing test drive at the dealership and made
I appreciate y'all.
taking the easy way out. That's so you.
Still not getting it. That's so you. Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/auto-navigation.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Live in a minute.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Minority AIDS Project is a California nonprofit organization that provides educational and other HIV/AIDS-related support services free of charge to eligible individuals regardless of age, gender, ethnicity, culture, language, or circumstances, with a primary focus on the African American and Latino communities in Central and South Central Los Angeles. Minority AIDS Project is the first community-based HIV/AIDS organization established and managed by people of color. It was founded by Archbishop Carl Bean and the Unity Fellowship Church of Christ in 1985 and has been serving South LA ever since. To make a donation or access services, call 323-936-4949. That's 323-936-4949 or visit minorityaidsproject.org. This is a community call to action.
Yes,
from
it could.
KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I saw you soon as you came bouncing through the door. You and your mans and then just took over the floor. Started doing your thing and it made me notice you even more. The way you turned around and looked at me, it seemed that you must have somehow felt yourself on the floor. Something tells me you're the kind of guy I'd like to get to know.
Alright, when you speak, eat the mic, eat the mic, eat it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your brother back in the building. Did you have one of those drunk fathers where if he started drinking, it was like there was a full moon? He turned into a totally different person. We talking about immature parents. And of course, my 90s R&B playlist, my co-host is showing out. That was Brandy Full Moon. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I get to my caller out of the town business, Warriors in 6, Otto, before I get to my caller, I've had an intern here for the past month or so, and her name is Arabia. She's about to do her first read. Yeah. Okay, kid, this is your shot. Don't miss the shot. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Election Day is Tuesday, June 7th, and we're already hearing that African American voter ballots are not being returned as quickly as other fellow citizens. In fact, Black voters are in last place returning their ballots. So if you're voting by mail, please get your ballot in the mail right away. There's a lot at stake in this election, and your vote can be a difference maker in important races for mayor, city attorney, LA County sheriff, Congress, state assembly, and Senate races, judges, and important propositions. Please visit our KBLA 1580 website with Dominique DePrima's conversation with the candidates. No radio station in LA has interviewed more candidates than KBLA Talk 1580. Hear what they have to say and make your choice. You can also learn what you need to know for the primary election on June 7th and find the free vaccination locations if you still aren't vaccinated and intend to vote in person on June 7th. All of this and more at our website, KBLA 1580. And remember, we've got a lot to vote about.
Listen, you did okay. All right. Don't see when you read, you don't expect something to get caught in your throat, right? When you read, and you be like, "Yeah, I'm finna read right through this," and then out of nowhere, something just flies in your throat. You did good, but don't be scared. You can't be scared. You did good.
Thank you.
Next time, just pace yourself a little bit. Slow down, like Andy was saying. Just pace it, slow down, flow, vibe with it. Like you talking to the folk. They gonna listen to you. They gonna love on you. You did a good job. I'm proud of you. All right, let's get back to the topic. A deeper look at the trials and tribulations that come with immature parents. Can you be honest? I can be honest. My mother went through hell and high water before she got to me. So I can say, yes, she was immature. And I can say it without hurting her, without demeaning her, right? She wasn't ready. She was at a certain level of consciousness. And I don't ding her for that, right? I mean, come on. Sometimes, mom, dad, or especially mama. Mama is beyond reproach. Mama could be toxic, but what you fail to realize, nobody wants to really talk about mama's toxicity. Why? Because she sits in the family's catbird seat. She's beyond reproach. But listen, in order for you to get right with you're going to have to confront mama and all her demons too. You gotta. Why? Because you inherited those demons. Remember I said you inherit the cave. Ah, man. Otto, town business.
You already know.
Now,
Sir.
Otto.
I ain't my PG-13, man. I'm not
Okay.
on nothing.
Okay, Otto. Don't call in your cussing, Otto. All right. And I agree with you.
Respect Mr. Tavis Smiley, okay?
Thank you, sir.
We're not gonna do that here.
Yes, sir.
I grew up on Tavis Smiley, you know what I'm saying? So
There we
never
go.
that, man.
There we go,
Peace
man.
and love to the OGs.
Yes, sir. Let's get it, man. Talk to me, man. Your family experience. Yeah.
Family experience. I'm the oldest out of 8. Oakland, California, as y'all already know. 80s baby. I'm 1982. You know what I'm saying? Mom was a teenager, you know, as usual. Pops was just making it out of the teens, you know, but it's the crack era. So, you know, you got some sketchy and some checkered passes, you know what I'm saying, with my dad, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And she had to do what she had to do as far as moving on past that relationship. I learned from that what to do, you know, as a man, and what not to do as a man, you know what I'm saying? And the choices that you're going to have to make, you create an environment in a household like that. You know, it's really nothing that you can fix, you know, as far as childhood trauma and things like that. My dad can't come back and repair the 80s, you know. So it's not like he can't come and apologize, but what he can do better than an apology for me is rebuild from where he stands today, or wherever he stood when he finally, you know, got out that checkered situation.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as myself, you know, I'm a father of 5 right now, and that's all I do, man, is live by my last name. I think a lot of people got caught up living by their first name, and what I mean by living by their first name is a lot of just ideology of this is my life. You know, you only live once. You know, that type of mentality got us to where we at, where we fell off from the traditions of you know, whatever you do outside the house comes back in and it affects this house. And so that it's just the prize of being a parent that we really have to understand. I mean, but when I think about it, most geniuses that we look up to didn't have children. And that's the sacrifice of being a genius, is because when you're doing this soul searching, you really find out that this world is not worthy to bring a duplicate of yourself. You really got to be somewhat of a fool to even bring a child in this type of society, because we already know about Christian Murphy, right?
Yeah.
Society. So why would you bring a light being, some of the purest energy of this galaxy, into a... What about continuing the legacy, though? You know what I'm about to say, right?
No, I hear you. I hear you. But I love it when Otto calls, because I get to push back a little bit.
Oh,
now,
come on, man. You already know. Gemini in the house.
Now, this what... Yeah, exactly. This is what I believe personally. Now, you may not believe this. But personally, I believe in the cycle of what the Hindus called samsara. The cycle of never-ending life, right? Birth, life, death, reincarnation, come back. So I believe a lot of these souls choose to come here and choose the circumstance and situation that they experience. I believe that.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, I understand what you're saying, and to a certain degree, I agree with what you're saying. If you're aware, you go, why would I bring a kid into this toxic place? But what if that soul said, hey, on another astral plane, said, you're my father, you're my mother, your toxicity, dating each other, I'm going to model that toxicity and then overcome it around 37. Right? What if that is...
That's the journey of becoming perfected, right? That's the beautification of alchemy, right?
Right.
Returning some type of raw material, okay, which is this whole toxic society that has been manipulated by one culture to another culture to another culture. We're not even going to blame it on just the European folk. Let's be honest. It's been multiple cultures, you know, creating toxicity of societies, and this is layered. And so for us to pass through this, to be prophetic, to be the strongest or the purest persons and not infected by our environment, but actually affecting our environments, like the Malcolm X's and the Martin Luther Kings. When we have these type of prophetic people that come through here, we see their background. We see they came through some situations, okay? And that's the beautiful thing about the alchemy that we have in our society. You may say, why would your mom or my mom and my dad wasn't ready? But who are you to even to measure the spirituality of that moment?
Well, you can't. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, you can't measure what the universe had planned with someone that you feel that was inadequate with tools.
All right. So what do you think? What do you think about this? What if you need multiple lives to get multiple levels of understanding?
Well, we'll build from there and say the reason why you may come to a concept like that is because that's a micro look upon this whole sphere that we're looking at, and not a macro look. The macro look is, what if we are a flower that's blooming into something as a people? What if we are all one and we're blooming? You're just seeing the rough phase. You're just seeing the nappy fro phase. I haven't got my locking yet.
The new growth. I would say this though. You got it in reverse. I would say this. You got it in reverse.
Okay.
And this is what I mean by that. Everything in this universe is quantized, which means it can be broken down into a fragment. So, and I've written about this in my book, Shrouded Lighthouse, the relationship dismal, right? So, in those, so I'm breaking down.
I'm talking to him with his books, y'all. Y'all gotta get up on it now.
No, peep it though.
Okay.
If the universe is broken down into fractals, right?
Yeah.
And I've said in my book, sometimes you may need 4 or 5 relationships to fail in order to get one whole answer about who you are. So one relationship fails, you get a piece.
Right.
Another relationship fails, you get another piece. When I come forward, I'm going to finish this piece. Stay with me, Otto.
Of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Where y'all at? I'm just gonna stop asking for calls.
Black Information Network. Police confirm multiple people died after a shooting at a hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
This shit is embarrassing. I gotta stop
reports the shooter took his own life after opening fire on the campus of St. Francis Hospital. Police have reported there were also multiple injuries. The identity of the shooter not confirmed, but he had one rifle and one handgun. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is ordering random audits of all public schools. Abbott wants the Texas School Safety Center to work with the Texas Education Agency to conduct safety reviews. He also said last week's shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde shows more needs to be done. David Porter isn't thrilled that Donald Trump used his song at the NRA convention last weekend in Texas. The former president used the Sam and Dave song, Hold On, I'm Coming. Songwriter David Porter tweeted he did not and would not approve of Trump using the song for any reason. That's the latest. I'm Kevin Brown from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
For just $10, explore more this weekend on Metrolink. Grab your family and find the best taco shops and outdoor fun at your favorite Metrolink stops from Ventura to Oceanside and everywhere in between. Weekend fares just $10. Kids under 17 with paid adults are free. Details at MetrolinkTrains.com.
If you're not listening to Tavis Smiley weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580. You're missing out. Everybody wants to talk to Tavis.
That's one reason, by the way, why I'm so thrilled to have this conversation with you today. The three people I always most hoped would interview me were Phil Donahue, Studs Terkel, and Tavis Smiley. Donahue's retired, Terkel's deceased, so this is a real thrill for me. And the reason why I have such respect for what you do is you have a historically informed conversation of depth and detail.
Be sure to tune in to Tavis Smiley weekday mornings, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on your unapologetically progressive radio station, KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
Big tobacco cigarette butts filter practically nothing and are made of microplastics that are toxic and cunning. More than 15,000 fibers lurk in every cigarette butt you see. Could they harm your families? Quite possibly. They could end up inside of you, your bodies, their prey. New studies even indicate possible links to mutations in DNA. An evil lie with the future's work of harm. To the world, now you know, so sound the alarm. Learn more at undo.org.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. Ouch! Well, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers. If you administer insulin 3 or more times per day, or use an insulin pump, call now and learn how a CGM can help you.
Painless. No more pricking my finger.
No finger pricks.
Convenience. They delivered it free and they took care of all the paperwork.
You can reduce pain right away. Plus, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you spend more time in range. And if you have insurance, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Call now and get free shipping of your new CGM. Plus, we'll bill your insurance for you. 800-457-9220. 800-457-9220. 800-457-9220.
AKA, but you can always hear the playbacks
LA County. You could be
on
eligible
Apple
for free
Podcasts.
internet. Call 866
You can always hear the playbacks
to see if you qualify
at KBLA.com. Apple Podcasts, Google Play. You can hear the playbacks there.
866-298-1825.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a whole lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, challenging you to be the change you want to see. 100 Black Men of Los Angeles Incorporated is a nonprofit community-based organization with a mission to improve the quality of life for African Americans.
Heaven's sake, what up?
By enhancing educational and economic opportunities for youth.
It's not necessarily about that, but
Young Black Scholars Program, the Junior Investment Program, and the Technology Summit. 100 Black Men of Los Angeles focuses on mentoring, education, health and wellness, economic empowerment, and leadership. They're a body of outstanding Black men whose training, skills, and experiences adds value to their communities. To join the organization and make a difference.
So you're my man in my head. I just saw that.
100
Hey.
100BMLA.net or call 310-497-2176. That's 310-497-2176.
Prayers.
This is the community call to action from KBLA Talk 15.
I see you, True.
Welcome to Allstate.
Where are the women callers?
Kind of like a joyride. You, your car, and an open road.
Hey,
maybe your best friend too.
Put a fire emoji up for the playlist. Can you show the playlist some love?
And then he puts his head back out the
Put
window.
a fire emoji up for the playlist.
You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today. Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability.
What's good, B
The right
Young?
person for the job isn't easy. Just ask someone who
Robin,
hired a
30.
gardening teacher to trim their hedges.
30.
Man, these shrubs are not made of plywood. Don't worry, another few chops should do it. Yeah! Nope! Yeah! Dang!
Come on, let's
But
get
if you've
that
got an
fire
insurance question,
going.
You can always count on your local guy.
Wait till the next record, y'all.
Policies, which could save you hundreds.
Oh, this treehouse looks like particle board.
Wait till you hear the next one.
There we go. I'm starting to doubt myself.
For expert help with all your insurance needs, visit geico.com/local today.
More of the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
Doing their own thing.
Brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the Voice of Reason on KBLA Talk 1580. That's what got you that kid when you said you wasn't ready, because y'all was just kicking it. My co-host, the playlist, gonna lock right into the topic every time. All that just kicking it. Next thing you know, got a kid, and you be like, yo, let's get serious. Wait a minute, we was just kicking it. So, Otto from Oakland.
You already know what it is. That's how them clowns lock her down, though, right?
You see? So, as I was saying before we came forward, I was saying every relationship, right? Sometimes you need 3 or 4 relationships because everything in the universe is quantized, right? When I say quantized, time is quantized. It's quantized all the way from eons down to nanoseconds, right? It's quantized. Our reality is quantized. And I say our relationships are quantized. You learn something from this relationship, then you get something else from another relationship, right? This fractal Fibonacci code is always happening. Now watch this. Samsara, the Hindu term, which deals with birth, life, death, and rebirth, is this, to me, symbolizes this fractal movement. Sometimes, just like you need 3 or 4 relationships to get one whole answer about yourself, sometimes you need multiple lives to figure out your purpose for incarnating here. Toxic parents produce toxic kids, but toxic kids, they don't have to be toxic. Why? Because part of the hero's journey is leaving the toxicity, becoming a self-author, transforming yourself from what you started as, and then going back home different, transformed. See what I'm saying? But you got to get these little fragments, right? These pieces. Sometimes the piece is a relationship. Sometimes the fractal is an entire new life. Talk to me.
Right, and not, excuse me, and Samsara, with the repeated birth, dealing with like a mundane existence and dying again and again, right? I can appreciate that perspective because this is what our spirituality is about. Our spirituality is about renewing from our experiences. Okay, so like you're saying, you're renewing a relationship of love, bringing those experiences from each relationship of the past. This is your evolvement, and this is the involvement of all of us, and this is that picture that I was saying. If you look at society as a whole, we are creating a picture. We are creating this beautiful, as I call it, a flower of creation. And some of us are going to be the thorns. Some of us are not going to make it to the petal perceptions. Okay? Some of us are going to be pessimistic and being someone who's going to be, half full type of ideology. Those are the balancers that we needed. We need to have that. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Father, was he a good dad or a bad dad? Or both, mixed?
Oh, he's still a good dad. Still a good dad.
Mm-hmm. And what were some of the things you had to overcome, if any?
I mean, just living in the crack era, with drug abuse and selling. Not knowing whether you want to be, Freeway Rick or a Bill Cosby.
Or Bill Cosby. That's right.
I mean, we trapped in this conundrum.
Right.
When we were blessed with so much swagger and so much physical ability. I mean, this man also had a scholarship playing basketball at the time. I mean, he had so many great things going on with himself, okay? And charismatic also. So he was a ladies' man. He was a man's man. all that, and you know, military, just retired, 30 years in the military. So my dad is what you know as, you know, a good dad and a good role model for me and his grandchildren.
Well, brother, let me just say this, because we gotta push forward, man. We got other callers, but let me just say thank you. No, I appreciate you, and I agree with you. Warriors in 6.
I
Yes.
love it, baby. Hey, but don't forget about Devin Haney going to Australia. He's also from Oakland, California. He's about to beat up on George Cambosa in Australia. June 4th, you guys, please get that on Showtime. Support the brother. He got his own promotion company. I mean, he's
Man.
about to do the lightweight belts. He got undisputed. That's 4 belts, first time in history.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oakland. All right. Oakland. Oakland gonna rep Oakland. Every time. They're gonna rep Oakland. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Town business. Yeah. Truemonger from Dallas is in the house right now. Truemonger. Did you carry now, Truemonger, you cussed the last time you was on?
I did?
Yeah, I don't forget curses. Okay. Cussers.
I think I did.
Yeah, you did. You cursed.
You sure that was me?
Yeah, that was you. That was you, Truemonger. And you was like, that was you, Truemonger. Go ahead, True. Talk to me, man.
Oh, man. Speaking about immature parents and whatnot, I think part of the problem was, or maybe still is, that a lot of parents think that stuff don't stink. And when they get, or their kids might expose something, they react to it in an irrational way, just like a kid would in most cases, and they take it out on that child. Because my parents were baby boomers.
Mm-hmm.
My old man had a habit of doing that, not knowing how to really express himself, so he kind of, it's something else that he just lash out, and then he try to make up for it later by taking me somewhere or buying something. I'm like, after a while, that doesn't work. Because what it boiled down to was he had unresolved issues with his folks,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't know how to take care of that with them.
Was he controlling?
It's like he didn't want to be bothered with a lot of stuff, or it felt like he just didn't really want to be bothered with a lot of stuff. It's like he did stuff out of some obligation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I saw how he handled things with his other kids, because he was around with me, but my siblings would be somewhere else.
Wow.
So he kind of handled that in a mature way.
True, you got kids?
Unfortunately, no.
You don't?
Situation didn't work out.
All right. Are you done? You're not trying to have kids? Are you gonna have kids?
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
I'm not really forcing the issue.
So how do you want to show up for your kids?
Well,
if you have kids, how do you want to show up?
I want to be transparent.
So do you feel like your father wasn't transparent with you? He was just, this is my obligation. I got to take care of this kid. I like this kid better than the kids I had before him. So I'm going to be around this kid, but I'm not going to open up and reveal and share and do all of that. Is that?
That's how he was.
That's how he was.
He was until he got sick.
Now, when he got sick.
Didn't have his best interest at heart. I was doing my own health issues at the time. We had beef because when I was a teenager, me and him actually got into it physically.
You actually fought with your father?
Yeah.
Wow. How old were you?
I was 15.
What led up to it?
Him just basically trying to be a bully towards me.
For
whatever reason.
What do you mean?
It's like I was doing some things that nobody ever pushed him to try to do. So he always kind of looked at me like yeah, if I would be doing some positive things, like he wants. So like when we fought,
once he graduated high school, all he did was go to work. He had a job right out of high school, and that's pretty much all he did. He never pursued anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And when he started seeing me doing other stuff, getting noticed from college recruits and all this stuff, he was kind of envious about it.
So you had a jealous daddy too. He was jealous too.
To a degree, because he would have like people stop you from pursuing other things. I'm like, nobody stopped you but yourself. You chose to just clock in like that. Nobody forced you to do that. You were comfortable with that.
So listen to this. Listen to this. Here are some signs for bad parenting. You tell me how many of these apply to your father. They demand blind obedience. They use intimidation to discipline. They are controlling for the wrong reasons. They don't monitor or control a child's bad behavior. They always choose easier over better parenting practices. They deny responsibilities. They are not self-reflective. They've tried. Go ahead. No, go ahead. No. This is what I want. This is what I want you to do, True. I want you to think about what I presented, and then when we come forward, give me your answer then. All right?
Okay.
Man, the voice of reason is on fire. People are participating in tonight's conversation. BM, big mistake, baby mama. BD, bad decision, baby daddy, when we come forward.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey!
All I need is one mic.
Follow
K!
The famous phrase from the film
Salute,
President's
K.
Man refers to the Watergate scandal.
Hey, listen.
But it's something I live by in my work as a broadcaster.
This show is
writer,
almost
and
over.
activist. Follow the money.
I've
Who
always
paid,
said this.
How much did they pay, and what do they think they're buying?
If we do it as a collective, it has a greater impact.
And our current election
I would like for everybody who hasn't done it,
Police Protective League has
show your love and support for this channel.
Advertising into a hit job on Congresswoman
Twos and
laughably
Fuse.
called an independent expenditure.
That's it.
The
Twos and
so-called union
Fuse.
representing our city's
Nobody,
costs
you
is
ain't got it.
spending
I know how much
unprecedented
gas
money in
costs.
support of
So
billionaire real
Twos
estate
and
developer
Fuse.
and self-described LAPD
Everybody
Senator
try to
Rick
support
Caruso
the channel
and
if you
his
can.
mayor. The
Hit the like
LAPD
button.
Association
Hit
has
the
bought and
share
paid for
button.
$4 million worth of
Let
unchecked
people know
lies, slander,
that
and
this is a
insinuation
unique
towards a
conversation.
thoroughly vetted, well-respected
Nobody's doing it like this.
African-American congresswoman as she strives to become Los Angeles' first black woman mayor. Seething with hateful and long debunked allegations, the anti-blackness of these attacks is
Yes,
offensive
Truemonger,
and
it does. It
unmistakable.
all adds
Oh,
up.
Dominique, that's just politics, you
Twos
say. But there's
and
more to it than
Fuse.
that. Follow the money. Police associations, or unions as they like to call
And for
themselves,
everybody
are
else,
advocacy
thank you.
organizations for law enforcement officers. We
Thank
assume their job is to lobby for better pay and working conditions. But in the case of law enforcement associations, their advocacy often includes defending officers who kill, fostering misinformation campaigns around victims of police violence, and obstructing sincere efforts at police reform and reimagination. Their outsized power is often wielded to perpetuate policies
You
and
might not
practices
have.
that enforce
I was just
systemic
playing with you,
bias
True.
and
Come on,
discrimination.
man.
That's why I call them cartels. I don't know about
I
your
still don't
union,
think I could,
but
though.
won't cover up crimes for me. So why are these organizations, whatever you call them, allowed to endorse candidates? Why are they permitted to pour millions of dollars into political advertising? Shouldn't the hard-earned dues paid to them by officers be used for the direct benefit of those officers? Aren't there wounded or widowed cops who need support? Or maybe those dollars should be donated to the LAPD's operating budget, since they're constantly asking for bigger and bigger allocations.
April, you ain't gonna
In
curse.
Chicago, New York, and Los
I promise
Angeles
you,
alone,
you're not gonna
police
curse, April.
associations spend tens of millions
Hey,
of dollars every year to
Bohemian
stop police reform.
Star.
And Los Angeles law enforcement is the biggest spender.
You're on the
with
big screen.
65 million squandered
But came
on
on to
politics
give
in just the past
to this
20
awesomeness.
years.
Twos and
Law
Fuse
enforcement
crew.
is meant to protect and serve all of the people.
Thank you, Bohemian
Republicans
Star.
and Democrats
Salute.
of every zip code and ethnicity.
How can we trust them to do so when they take sides in elections? And the side they choose invariably is the same side that is complicit in brutalizing and killing Black and BIPOC people. Police associations should not be allowed to endorse or donate to political candidates or initiatives. It is a built-in conflict of interest that is not only unethical, it undermines the trust law enforcement claims they would like to build with communities of color. Who
Here we go.
The LA Police Association.
It's almost over.
How much? $4 million and counting. What do they think they're buying? The office of the mayor. Follow the money. I'm Dominique DePrima. We welcome your comments at KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what them kids be singing with them parents that don't be involved. The name of this song is On Our Own. Most of these kids be like, go for what you know. There's one pack of ramen noodles in there. On our own. When you got a toxic parent governing your life, really, there's a sense of isolation. A limited parent, an emotionally immature parent, a spiritually immature parent, right? A mentally immature parent. What is a mental? Just somebody that ain't even paying attention, ain't even focusing, just making bad decisions on top of bad decisions. Them kids find themselves making decisions for themselves. Isn't that what happens when kids make that little dash when they separate from mom and dad? When you don't set a foundation, kids get wayward quick. Let's get Truemonger in the building. Truemonger, wrap your thought, and then I got to go to my next caller. Wrap your thought, good brother.
Okay. We were speaking on signs of bad parenting.
Yes.
And I don't think it was necessarily bad parenting on his part. I think he was just going by what he was shown.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought that was what worked. He tried to use intimidation.
But that's true. True. I got to stop you, Trey. That's bad parenting.
Okay.
Like we just got to be real. Why does my father have to intimidate me? Like, I can understand an intimidating presence, but that's different from using intimidation. Go ahead.
Right. And also, the only time he was like doing self-reflection is if there was a funeral. After a funeral, he'd do that, and then he'd go back to what he was regularly doing.
Wow.
But when that stuff didn't work on me anymore, kind of held a grudge until he got sick, and he thought I would treat him the same way that he treated me. Even though I was dealing with my own health issues, I didn't do that. I still didn't help him. And he was thankful for that until he passed.
There you go. The hero's journey, man. The hero's journey. Like Dana, the hero's journey. Hey, brother, I appreciate you. Thank you for bringing Dallas in the building. And we appreciate you rocking with us every day, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
Look, when I come forward, I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia Sister Vanetta is on the line. I know she got something heavy to say. The VOR is on fire.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you live in LA County, you could be eligible for free internet. Call 866-298-1825.
Oh, y'all like that Bobby Brown, huh?
You qualify for free home internet. Call 866-298-1825.
Ooh, they was like, Bobby Brown.
866-298-1825.
Wake up and text.
Ivan 30.
Text.
30.
Going straight to you, no music.
Up with a friend you haven't
What's the
seen
song?
in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and
D'Angelo.
You're on their phone the whole time.
So we got like 2 minutes, you know?
All right.
Complain that you're on your phone the whole time.
Y'all, yeah, I have records.
But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
More of the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about baby mamas, big mistakes, baby daddies, bad decisions. We've been talking about it all night and how immature parents can adversely affect the children that they are raising. We have a sister on the line from Atlanta, Vanetta. Vanetta, I have to urge you, you must keep it very short. You have about 30 seconds before we have to move forward. Vanetta, you there?
Hello. Yes. Hi, Zoe.
Hello.
I'll keep it very, very short.
Okay.
I have 2 kids, and they're both boys. And I had to learn how to raise boys because I grew up in a household with all girls. So my mom was a disciplinary, but my dad, he didn't discipline. So I refused to hit my boys. I never spanked them. I would just talk to them. But their dad was like, no. Gotta do more than talking to boys. But they were young and they were learning.
You gotta wrestle.
But when they reached but when they reached 10, 11, where I couldn't hold their hands at the school, and they didn't want me around them, they started to change. And then I just had to give it to him.
Oh, wow.
Because they definitely changed in a way where he had to step in.
Okay, we got to wrap it right here, but Vanetta, you got to call in tomorrow and give me this story because I want the whole story and I want you to have time to do it, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you so much for the call. We start the conversation, but you continue it. Moving forward, you're going to get some news, and then, of course, Danny Morrison and Robin will keep the fire lit. Real quick, get this book, Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents by Lindsay C. Gibson. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. When we come forward, Danny Morrison Show with Robin. Too hot to handle, too cold.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
About to start rapping. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Information Network.